I think it's very important for us to be accepting of the entire range, the entire spectrum of emotion that we have. I think we go through life a lot of times thinking that we shouldn't be feeling angry, we shouldn't be having desires, we shouldn't be thinking negative thoughts, we shouldn't be behaving or thinking in a way that's contrary to what our idea is of what a good person is, what our idea is of a respectable person, what our idea is of the ideal person, the kind of person we want to be. But I think it's very important for us to when we are experiencing a range of thoughts, a range of emotions, a range of actions that we want to take, to be able to embrace all of that, to be able to see that it's not just all the good stuff that we want, it's just not just all the good characteristics, all the good thoughts that we want to be having, and trying to sweep all the other stuff under the rug, or trying to get rid of all the other thoughts. It's very important to accept the fact that we have a full spectrum of thoughts, to accept the fact that we are angry, the fact that we do get jealous sometimes, that we do get pissed off, that we do want to get back at other people, that we do have violent thoughts, that we do have sexually deviant thoughts. All of these things are not only perfectly natural, but they're very much a part of us. They're so much a part of us that if we push them aside, reject them, throw them away, they're never going to be able to pass through us. We're never going to be able to process those emotions and those thoughts and those desires that we have. So to see that we have on the one side good, beautiful things, love, friendship, caring, giving, kindness, all of those things. On the other side, all the quote-unquote bad ones, the things that we label as bad, but to see that we have both, and that they both come together and create the whole, create unity, create wholeness. And there's a beautiful story. It's a really famous story, and it's one of my absolute all-time favorite ones. It's attributed to Native Americans. I think it's attributed to a Sioux, to the Sioux tribe. I don't know what it's called, tribe, something like that. But it's the roots of the story go very deep, and there's something that I think run through a lot of, if not every culture that I know of, every ancient culture. And the story starts off by a group of little kids, and they're playing around with a ball or something. They're playing something in the courtyard where all the huts of the tribe are around. And they kick the ball, and they kind of kick it to these old grandfathers of the village that are sitting in the corner. The grandfather's like, "Yeah, kids, get out of here, get this ball out of here," and they kick it away and say, and the grandfathers kind of go amongst themselves again, and they're sitting there drinking, smoking, whatever, and talking about their old grandfatherly things, and tell the kids to get lost. And the kids go play with it again and kick it over to another hut. And over on the other hut, they see, they kick it over, and there's like the cool grandfather, the grandfather who sitting there is happy, who's enjoying his life, and he's tending to his garden, and he's the grandfather that everybody likes to be around. He's the grandfather that people go to for wisdom, people go to for advice. And he's the grandfather who brings things together. He has kind of a sense of harmony in his own being and in the world around him, the people around him. And the kids kick the ball over to that grandfather, and the grandfather comes and plays with them a little bit and says, "Here you go, kids, here's the ball. You know, go off and play." The kids say, "Thanks, grandfather. Why is it that you're so kind and you're so nice to us, and the other grandfathers over there, they're so bitter and mean, and they never play with us ever, and they never talk to us, and they always tell us to get lost?" And the kind grandfather says, "Well, my children, we have two wolves growing inside of us. One wolf is the light wolf, and that's the wolf of kindness, the wolf of compassion, the wolf of teamwork, the wolf of love, the wolf of all of the light, all of the good stuff. And on the other side, there's another wolf, and that's the dark wolf. And that's the wolf of anger, of resentment, of bitterness, of jealousy, of selfishness, of hatred." So the kids think about that for a while and say, "Oh, so you must have gotten the good wolf then, and then the other mean grandfathers, they got the bad wolf." And grandfather says, "No, my children. Every single one of us has both wolves growing inside of us at all times, and there's a constant battle. There's a constant growth inside of both of us. One wolf and the other wolf competing with each other constantly." So the children think about that for a while, and they said, "Well, how is it if we all have both wolves? How is it that the mean grandfathers are so mean and you're so nice?" He says, "Well, my children, it all depends on which wolf you feed." And I think that is a beautiful story that kind of highlights that harmony, that balance. Understanding that we all have the full spectrum of every single emotion, good and bad, inside of us. And it's that bringing it together, the harmony, the recognition that it's all there. And it all depends, more than anything. It's not the world outside of us that does it. Nobody gives us the good wolf. Nobody gives us the bad wolf. But it all depends on which wolf we decide to feed. It's all up to us.